How to use the hammer strength leg press and things to consider. The leg press is a great exercise because it allows you to lay back and load weight and use your legs. It's a great way to close out your exercises, or you can even structure your routine around a leg day using this machine. One of the things to consider with a traditional squat, whether it's a goblet squat or a bar squat on your back, you are using your core a lot more. You're using your stomach and lower back muscles. With the leg press, you're using primarily your legs and your hip muscles. So something to think about is you'll probably be able to move a lot more weight on the leg press than you could squatting. With that said, the pressure point is going to be on the lumbar spine and the hips. So even though you can move the weight with your legs and your legs are strong enough, think about the pressure point that you may be experiencing on the back. So even though your legs can move it, I like to recommend everybody start a little lighter just to see how their lower back tolerates the movement. Okay, so adjustments for the machine. You have two horns on each side that you can load plates onto. You have a pad of rubber under the bar here. This is your stop. So if I bring this all the way down, that's going to allow the sled to move closer to my body. Further up, stop it. Okay, so this is just a good safety. Our backrest, we're going to talk about the positioning. To adjust the seat, you go here, it's a little more aggressive position, sits you up higher. Whereas if you lean it back, you'll get a little more travel room. It's a little safer on the spine. So there's no special way to get in here. You just gotta climb in. So from here, you hop in. Okay. When you're pressing, you always want to make sure that you keep your lumbar spine, your lower back flat. As you go lower with the legs, your hips are going to want to tilt, lifting your back up. Really focus on keeping that lower back flat. There's different positions of the feet you can play with. Typically speaking, you want to be able to see your toes as you do the leg press. So if I move my feet up higher, when I start the motion, I can see my toes. This would hit more of the quads. You could also go wide with your stance, toes are out. This will hit a little more of the hamstrings and the glutes. The lower you go, you'll definitely get hamstrings and glutes. You want to always think about applying even pressure, driving through the heels. I like to say, imagine the arch of your foot, okay? So no matter what the position is, you want to imagine that the arch of your foot is going to stay healthy, alive, and like it sounds, you want to keep it as an arch. And what I mean by that is when you do this leg press, you don't want to let your knees come in, because if my knees come in, the arch of my foot flattens. So you want to keep kind of a little bit of imaginary, what's called an isometric. I mean, you're going to keep an imaginary pressure, right? A contraction out to keep the arch of your foot alive. So heads back. You got the furthest set of handles down here. I'm going to push away. Then I'm going to rotate these out. That gives me motion. Okay, lower back is flat, shoulders are calm. You're going to bring down, keeping the heels down as low as you can. For me, right here feels good. Then I'm going to drive it up. At the end, keep a soft knee. You do not want to lock your knees out. So from here, 3 reps would be close, extend. If I wanted to change positions, meaning where I feel it, I would always lock it in and then reset plates, get in a good position, check shoulders, check back, move the arms out, start the movement again. Okay? The reason I do that is because you got to think about it. If I have 200 pounds on here and I go to one leg to shift, this leg is now supporting the weight, which should be 2. So it's a better safety measure just to lock it in, get your feet where you want it, and then do the movement. So once again, closer is going to be more for quads, wider stance is going to be more hamstrings and glutes. You know I love my hamstrings and glutes. So we're here, low, all the way up. Now if you notice with this last rep, that's the end of motion, that's the bumper it stopped on. That's pretty extreme. I think a good safe spot would be about 90 degrees, and then you're up. I want to touch on one more thing. I don't know if you're able to see it, but there's 2 guards here. So the first guard, if I stop the plate higher, for people with taller legs, longer legs, I could bring it in closer and catch. Okay. Another thing to think about, just as a safety measure, when you go to mount this, make sure it's locked in. Keep the tension on your legs still, then you notice that it's off. She's locked, it's not going anywhere. I haven't found a cute way to get out of the machine. Best thing to do is just kind of sit up here, and then you're up, and that's your hammer strength leg press. So just without any weight on the horns, I believe this is 120 pounds. Doesn't feel like that much though. Start with this, maybe add the first day 40, 50 pounds, see how your body tolerates it. give your body a couple days because you may notice a little soreness on the back. Once again, that's your pressure. That's what's holding the weight. So you gotta build that up through progressive overload. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, grab me or one of the trainers, and I'll see you guys soon.